Growing up, if you celebrated Christmas, it truly was a magical event. Cookies eaten by Santa, presents left under the tree, everyone pretending like they like eggnog. It was as much of a gift as the actual gifts you would get, whether it was a Hot Wheels car or a nice pair of socks. Thanks, Grandma. You're welcome, Shen. The euphoria you can feel, especially as a kid receiving the majority of the gifts, can easily cause a major seasonal down right after, much like a sugar crash.
Oh, boo-hoo! This is serious!
But what if you can experience it all again the next day? The day after the next day? The next day. Would you wish for that? In today's video, we take a look at Timmy Turner, the boy with fairy godparents, as he wishes for just that, Christmas every day. Welcome to the first day of the 25 days of Fringemas, where every day from today until the 25th of December, we take a look at nostalgic shows, holiday-themed episodes, and more in order to help me find that holiday spirit I've lost in my adult life over the past decade. So if you want to be a part of this daily journey and help me find that good old jolly joy, subscribe and come aboard. First off, I just want to say how much I love early Fairly OddParents. The pre-Poof era especially was a major part of my childhood. From the writing, to the animation, to Chompy, you're here to save me. There is so much to love about it, and I hope to cover more of it in the future if you'd like to see that. Today though, we are specifically talking about the Christmas episode, Christmas Every Day, one of the Christmas specials I hold dear from my childhood. So hopefully some of that joy and wonder can come rushing back. Ah yes, if any cartoon episode had a special title opening sequence that was more than just a static title card, you knew you were in for a treat. We get to see that everyone in town is getting ready for Christmas the next day. The town is full of people shopping, singing, decorations, and snow. Only thing missing is my mom blasting Michael Bublé. Yes, I did go to a Michael Bublé concert as well. When we catch up to Timmy, we find him on Christmas Eve being babysat by Vicky, forced to gift wrap fruitcakes for her enjoyment. We see him recount a moment when Vicky tried selling him and his friends as ice sculptures, and a bit about being cold and breaking free only to be frozen by Vicky once more mid-jump and then going, "So cold," once again is such a core memory for me. This one little cutaway joke has just stuck with me for so long, and I still love it. While Christmas Eve so far isn't going to plan for Timmy, he is riddled with excitement for tomorrow, saying Christmas is the greatest day ever. His parents come busting down the chimney after their Christmas Eve escapades, wearing matching sweaters to pay Vicky her Christmas bonus of sending her home for the holidays early. Timmy, filled with joy as the parents decorated the house that night with all the Christmas decor they could add. I don't know about you, but my family growing up would start the Christmas decorations right after Halloween and in later years on Thanksgiving. This whole waiting until the night before is so unrealistic, sometimes I beg it to be true. Like I said, this series, Fringemas, is me trying to find the spirit, not automatically have it. So sorry if I sound a bit jaded, okay? Much like Timmy now waiting for the sun to rise, where it was a fair enough hour to wake your parents up for Christmas, it was the same for me. Even if I couldn't sleep all that much the night before, I had to wait a fair amount of time to selfishly wake up everyone in the house to open up the presents. The sun rises, Timmy wakes up his parents, and we see this huge reveal of a literal sea of toys in their living room that Timmy Scrooge McDucks his way into as he breaks into song, wishing for Christmas every day and how great Christmas is. There's this running bit about Timmy not getting a girlfriend that's pretty funny. I relate to you, little dude. But can we for just a brief moment talk about how great the musical numbers in the Fairly OddParents are? Like seriously, whether it's moments like this or full-on Chip Skylark in it, the show always made well-animated, fun, and catchy musical numbers that are still stuck in my head to this day. Oh, and Timmy still can't get a girlfriend. Right as the song is finishing up and Timmy is laying down in bed to rest for the night, Christmas is coming to an end. He still utters a wish for it to be Christmas every day, where Cosmo and Wanda still have to grant the wish. Even if Wanda does say,
"I just wish he didn't!"
Fairly OddParents will return fairly soon. I wish that Fairly OddParents were back. Ding!
The next day begins and Timmy is excited it's Christmas again, as the rest of the world just accepts it, I guess. A whole new set of toys left for Timmy just like the day before, and the joy Timmy feels doesn't fade in the slightest. But there is a secret that Cosmo and Wanda aren't telling Timmy, especially after Timmy expresses that he has never been happier. How could they rip that joy from him? right? Christmas keeps happening every day for over 2 weeks, and by the 15th day, there is but a few presents left for Timmy, rather than a sea like in previous days. The town starts to fall apart as the banks are still closed for the holiday, grocery stores aren't open, and the schools are still closed.
I'm good with this.
With everyone freaking out, we see it's become a worldwide issue where even the military are running operations to take down Santa while the average person is blocking or setting up traps on their chimneys. Timmy starts to see the weight of his wish, how something that is good and a source of joy can become the complete opposite if you have it non-stop. If it's always joy all the time, how do you know what joy truly is? How can you truly appreciate it? When Timmy goes to wish for Christmas to finally end, the fairy's magic doesn't work and the wish is not granted. At the same time, the rest of the holiday mascots led by the Easter Bunny confront Timmy about making this wish in the first place and how because of it, their holidays will never come back around. Here is where we learn the secret that Cosmo and Wanda would not tell Timmy. And it's that every year when Santa is ready to start delivering gifts around the world, he relies on all the fairies to pull their magic together to help him accomplish this. And since there has been 15 days of Christmas in a row, the magic from the fairies and all of the fairy world is essentially depleted. It's all being used for Santa. I actually really had a kick of how corporate they show the North Pole, Kringle's factory, and Santa himself, with how much of a conglomerate the holidays, especially Christmas, has become. This is exactly how I've personally felt in my adult life, with the illusion of magic for me just being gone. The other holiday mascots now want to banish Santa to the made-up day of February 33rd and steal the fairies from Timmy, leaving him with no option but to save the world from Christmas every day and Santa from the other holidays. Thanks to Deus Ex Datica, Timmy has all the perfect tools to help him on his journey to the North Pole. Also, the aid of other children all over the world after he asked across the internet for people to help him. Fast forwarding a bit, after Timmy makes his way to the North Pole and sneakily hitches a ride from the other holidays before stalling them, and more of the Easter Bunny hiding eggs. It's just so funny, this little quirk detail that he has. Timmy warns Santa of what's going on and that he's in danger. We see a nice growth for Timmy here, who in order to save Santa and future Christmases for everyone else in the world, he admits to selfishly making the wish and gladly accepts his punishment of coal from Santa from now on. But this moment is short-lived as the holiday mascots do burst in, and they make a pretty funny mistletoe joke.
Darn it, mistletoe.
I like you as a friend. You're a good person.
Santa tries using his magic, but the holiday mascots use the fairies as conductors to absorb it all from Santa and power up the Easter Bunny with enough power to banish the weakened Santa. Goodbye, Kris Kringle.
Now back to the Fairly OddParents on Nick.
Right before it happens, Timmy stands up to the other holidays, along with every kid around the world who magically made their way to the North Pole as well. And we find out how the other holiday mascots ultimately don't feel as loved as Santa always seems to get from the kids. But they realize that they are appreciated and the kids are the reason they do what they do. Now the only thing left to do, since all the magic is back with Santa, who is still under Timmy's wish, he and every kid write Santa asking for him to deliver December 26th. Much like myself for committing to 25 videos in a row, but hey, the world moves on. Santa has to deliver on the wants of all these kids, so after a whole reprisal of the Wish Every Day Was Christmas song, now rewritten to explain the lesson learned, the next day finally arrives. The fairies get their magic back and a new rule is added to the rules that bans wishing for Christmas every day. We even see next Christmas that Timmy and the other holiday mascots pitch in to help do the deliveries around the world for Santa, as to make up for the 15 days straight of doing it himself the year before. A nice way to bookend the episode, a solid lesson being taught and some comfort for the soul during the season. Again, also a great musical number. This episode hits pretty heavy for me, especially when I was younger and wished for Christmas every day as well. I mean, who wouldn't as a kid who celebrates it? Non-stop presents, no school, it just seems too good to be true, and that's because it is. As an adult, I fully understand that, but seeing this lesson helped me cherish and appreciate Christmas better as a child. While it's fun and nonsensical, also full of eggnog, gross, it captures the spirit of Christmas that I am desperately wanting to find for myself again. Whew.
Jordan, you must find me.
Hello? Hello? Alright. Anyway, I think this episode embodies what I did love about the season, what made me feel joy and how much I just love cartoons. I will say, for our first episode in our journey here, this truly did spark a little something for me, feeling at least 0.1% more jolly than usual. Regardless though, this was just one step of our 25 days of Fringemas. Holiday-specific episodes like today's will be sprinkled throughout the month in between all the regular content as well. Let me know how this episode impacted you, or just if you enjoy it in general. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter, or else. I'll see you tomorrow with another video for my next day of Fringemas. I'll be making a playlist to keep up for the whole month if you want to catch up. But until then, later.